how to make a chunk of cash. We're going to make a chunk of cash. You can either make a chunk of cash or a stream of income. And people are saying, well, what's the difference? And why would I want one or the other one? Well, chunks of cash, when you're doing the 7 habits, the 7 steps, and the 5 ways to make money with your business and real estate, well, the question is, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a big chunk of cash or a stream of income? The correct answer is both. I want them both. I want to have a chunk of cash that has the ability to create a stream of income. Warren Buffett says, I love farmland. I'll take the farmland because it grows crops. I'll take apartment complexes because it makes money on rent. That's way better, than something like Bitcoin that doesn't make anything. It just goes up, it just goes down in value, which is helpful, but that's creating a value, but that's not creating income. It's not an income producing asset. So when you think about making chunks of cash or streams of income, then let's talk about that. And the first thing is that, when we talk about the 7 steps, the 7 habits, um, step number 6 is probably where we're going to get into. So just as a quick reminder, and again, we're going to be doing this our whole life. So let's figure it out. So number 1, let's see if we can get that to work. Number 1 is to make more money. Make more money. You got to make more money. Number 2 is to separate. You got to separate your money. Number 3 is to give. Give your time, give your energy, give your thoughts, give your energies and efforts. Number 4, most important, is to automatically invest. You need to automatically invest. That's crucial. That's key. If all I ever did teach you was to take your income and take 10 to 15%, automatically put it away, so it automatically goes into that account, and you give it to the 500 biggest companies in America to invest, or Warren Buffett, then we've won. Number 5 is to save and spend. Saving is not investing. Saving is saving. Now, how are we going to make this chunk of money? Well, we're going to get down here to number 6. Number 6 is to add real estate or business. And I'm saying real estate and business. You need to add real estate and business. And then number 7, wealth formula. The real goal is to take money from your job, take money from your real estate, take money from your business, and make money every month. As it makes money, we're going to send it to a separate account. We're going to make money, 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 times have it go up in value. It's got to increase in value times time. We're going to do this over a period of time. That equals wealth. And more importantly, it equals generational wealth. We are going to grow a whole orchard of money trees. We want all kinds of money trees. That's not a very good money tree. Let's see if we can do a better job on that one. We want to grow a whole orchard of money trees. And guess what? When that money tree produces fruit, apples, pears, whatever it is, we're going to take those seeds and grow more of them. That's wealth. We want a whole orchard of money trees. We want multiple orchards of money trees. That's what the wealthy have. They have all kinds of orchards of money trees, and people are making money with it. But number six is to make a chunk. So number 6, we need to make a chunk. We need to make a chunk of cash. Now, what are we going to do with that chunk of cash that when we make it? Well, there's a couple things we can do with it. One is we can get out of debt. You come back up here to number 5 to save and spend. Well, this is where your debt is. We're paying off that debt. We're paying off that debt. All of this is our net worth. Okay, but if we've got debt, we need to make a chunk of money and get out of personal debt. It's okay to have business debt. I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars not with personal debt, but with business debt. Made $10 million in real estate just by getting smart debt and having other people pay that for us. Okay. I bought real estate. I bought apartment complexes and people would rent them off of us and they paid us rent. We make the payments. So our renters paid them off for us. So making a chunk, there's a couple of things I want you to understand. There are five F's. There's five F's. And these are true for real estate as well as business. There's five F's. Everything you do, and it doesn't matter if you're doing a small little deal or $1 million deals or hundreds of millions of dollars of deals. As I work with when I turned 60, I pushed a lot of our money from our own businesses into doing it with other people and other big businesses. So I do a lot of joint venturing because I was spending all my time in the foundation. I'm literally spending all my time in the foundation instead of doing this other stuff. But there's five F's. Number one is you need to find a good deal. You need to find it. You need to find it. Only 1 to 3% are good deals. Now, once you know that, that changes your world dramatically. If you know that only one or three deals out of 100 fit our criteria, then you think differently. I know guys that are looking at apartment complexes that they will go through 100 complexes and they will study 100 complexes, then they'll do one and and they will go deep on it. And then they might buy, maybe 10% of those. So it's really 1 in 1,000 that they're going to buy. So just know that the vast majority don't fit our criteria. The vast majority of properties out there do not fit our criteria. They're not something that we're going to buy because it doesn't fit. Now, most people go, well, I'm just going to go buy a little property next door that's nothing down or it's all cash or whatever it is, and it's going to work. Well, you know what? Over a long period of time with inflation, it will help. It'll work. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a chunk of cash and then we're going to flip it. Okay, so the chunk of cash, number one is you need to find it. Number two is to fund it. You need to control it. Now, you don't need to buy it, you just need to control it. That's the key part. You need to control it. And you can do that with a partner. You can do it with an option. You can do it on consignment. Or you can just buy it. Some of the best deals I ever did is when we used all cash. I did a lot of deals where we came in with hardly anything, and I had some wonderful deals where we came in with all cash because we got a massive price difference. Our goal is to make a buck on it. Number three is to fix it. Number three is to fix it. What's wrong with it? Is it the property or the product or the people? I like it when it's the people problem. I like it when they're don't want her, that they don't want their property any longer. How does that happen? Well, the parents die, pass along, and the kids got this house and they don't really want it because they have their own home. It's an apartment complex and they don't want to do the management. They just want to take their cash and be done with it. A business, they've already got their own careers, and so they don't want to inherit a business. So people problems is what I really like to do. I like to find wonderful products, wonderful businesses that have a people problem. There's a divorce, there's a death, they're moving. And again, only 1 to 3% fit our criteria. The rest of them don't. So just be aware that you're going to have to hustle. The best thing to do is get people to call you. The best thing is to get people to call you. That's probably the best way to do it. And then you got a whole group of people, and then you go find a product. I was teaching the school the other day, and here comes this young 16, 17-year-old kid, and he has been flipping shoes, Nike shoes. He found his first one, bought it for a discount, sold it, bought it, sold it. He's done like 50 deals. He's got some shoes now that are worth $6,000 that he's looking to sell at a much higher price. He was wearing a pair of shoes that were $1,200 that he's trying to sell for 16 or $1,700. These are Nike shoes. So here's this kid that's doing it. There's another kid that's got a little motorcycle. He bought this little motorcycle for $2,000, is fixing it up, and he's able to sell it for 5 or 6,000. Okay. The most important thing is to do it, to actually have the experience of doing it. I don't care how big it is. I just want you to have a success. I want you to learn from it. And that's how you go about doing that. So number three is to fix it. What's wrong with it? And I love people problems because people problems, we can buy them out and they're gone. I love it when it's a property is a great property or the product's a good property or it's a good business and the people want out or they just mismanaged it. I bought 7 buildings, 28 units, and what had happened is that these two young kids got married, and the dad owned it, and he let the kids manage it. And guess what? They weren't good managers. They were terrible managers. And and instead of the dad fixing it, he says, "Well, I'm just going to go sell it," instead of telling the kids they suck at it. And I wrote an offer, and because they were motivated, I was able to buy 7 buildings and literally with nothing down. And I made a deal to have the owner finance it. So he had an existing loan on it, and then I paid him. And that's all in the book called The Road to Wealth. It's in the book called Multiple Streams of Income. It's in all my books, that whole story of how we did that. And I figured out how to be able to do that. And so I bought it basically with little or nothing down. First thing we did is it was closing on it in 30 days. So I kicked out 18 of the 28 people because they were horrid. And then I started putting new people in, and then we fixed it up. And it wasn't fun. It was a pain in the butt, guys. Honestly, it was a pain in the hiney. But we made $10 million doing that one strategies. Choose your hard. You can live paycheck to paycheck and have a hard life, or you can do something that's hard and have a good life. Oh, choose your hard. Which one do you want? You can sit around and watch TV all day, or you can get in the game and have fun with the game. But that's just part of the game. Okay. Number three is to fix it. Number four, the fourth F is to flip it. This is cash. How do we flip it and make cash? Because number five is to farm it. Okay, is to farm it. That's where we're getting rental income or dividends or a stream of income. Okay, so the big question is how do I get cash? Now, when you get that cash, what are we going to do with it? One is we're going to get out of personal debt. Take that thing and let's get out of personal debt. Number two is we're going to flip it and we're going to recycle the money. We're going to recycle the money and do it again. And then we're going to do it again and we're going to do it again. Okay, it's called a cookie cutter. What's a cookie cutter? A cookie cutter is when you got this little uh, cookie cutter. Oh, that's a terrible cookie cutter. Let's try again. It's a cookie cutter of a star, and you just roll out the dough, and you just bang, 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 bang. You just create a cookie cutter, and you just bang, 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 and you make the same cookie over and over again. That's what we're looking for, mass production, to be able to do that. But how are you going to make a quick cash? Well, you got to buy it from the market. So first of all, is you got to learn value. Until you understand value, everything is worthless. Until you understand value, everything is worthless. So you need to learn those. This kid that I was working with, he understood value of Nike of shoes. He'd been doing that for years, and he knew what those shoes were worth, and he knew if he was getting a good deal or not. My family's been in the car business. My dad started with my grandpa. My dad would be 94 today, and he started as a teenager. We've been in business, fourth generation for 70, 80 years. Um, Somebody pulls up and with a car, my dad or my brothers have a good idea of what it's worth because they've seen a lot of them. They know value. They know if they're getting a good deal or not. You have to learn marketplace. You have to learn what's a good deal. So you have to learn value. That's the biggest thing. Then the other piece is you want to have a buyer's list. You want to have a buyer's list. So this kid that's doing the Nike shoes, he's got a whole group of people that are looking for shoes. He's got a whole group of those. And then he goes out and finds a good deal. And before he even buys it, he gets the option. He gets the option or the consignment to be able to buy it. He ties it up. He gets a contract and says, I would be willing to pay you let's say $500 for the pair of shoes, and I got a good deal with it, and I have 7 days to complete the purchase. Okay, so I'm tying it up. That's a $500 purchase price, and I'm going to give you $10 for what we call earnest money. You have to give them some kind of consideration. So I tie it up on a contract. I'm going to give you $10,000 to hold it, and we're going to close on it in 7 days. Now, if this is real estate, I'd use 60 days or 90 days. And then he's going to go right out to his group and say, hey, I've got this pair of shoes. And guess what? They are $600 or best offer. And this guy is going to say, I'll pay you 700. This guy will say, I'll pay you 800, whatever it is. And then he's going to sell that. He's going to sell it to this guy for, let's say, he only gets 600 bucks out of it. I get $600 of it. So this guy comes up with the $600. We use it $600. We pay the remaining balance here and we put $100 in our pocket. Okay. I've done that multiple times on properties. You know, uh, there's $100,000 property. The property is worth 130. How do I know? Because I've looked at a bunch of them. Okay. And so we get an offer accepted. And we have 60 days to close. But I also have 2 weeks to do our due diligence. I can take 2 weeks to make sure that the property's the way I want it. And in that 2 week period of time, I'm going out to my buyers list and my group list, and I'm trying to sell this for 115,000. And I'll find somebody who says, I'll take it for 115,000. And so we do what we call a double escrow. You go to a third party attorney, you go to an escrow agent or somebody else that does it all. They take the two contracts together. Here's this contract to buy it for this. There's the contract to sell it for that. And they put them all together. This guy comes in with his cash and pays it off. And I made $15,000 by just flipping the deal. Okay, that's what we're talking about, cash. Another thing you can do on cash is that when you start buying properties, I'm going to use some number like 500,000 because that's about what properties are right now here where I live. And let's say that you bought the property many years ago. I mean, just example what I did. I'll just use the fourplexes that I bought for 250,000. I bought them for 250,000 and they went up in value up to 500,000. And the loans were at 250 and they all got paid down to zero. So my profit started at 250. I owned them for 27 years. That's a long time, a lot of headache and a lot of hassle. But I got all kinds of tax benefits from owning them. I got cash flow. So they started out at 250 on a loan. The loans got paid off to zero. The properties went from 250 up to 500. So my profit was 500,000 times 20 of them because I had 20 of them. That's $10 million. And that's how I made $10 million in real estate. But I also could have said, hey, I like these properties a lot. I love them a lot. So what I'm going to do is that loan that's for 250, because I have to pay some taxes on this. And that's one of the reasons we gave some of it away. But they'll come in there and say, hey, we'll loan you 80% of that. We'll loan you $400,000. So we'll give you a brand new loan for 400. Well, I only owe 250 on it, so I could have pulled out 150,000 of it right there. And now I've got a new loan for 400, and then I take that chunk of 150 and I go do it again and again and again. All right. So there's all kinds of ways that you can do this. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. The big takeaway, though, is just remember only 1 to 3% fit our criteria. Just, I don't care if it's a business, I don't care if it's an apartment complex. I mean, as I've worked with these big funds that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars under management, they've done billions of dollars worth of deal. It's the same thing. They're looking for 1 out of 100. They're going to analyze 100 of them, and one of them they're going to go deep on, and they're going to close. They're going to buy, maybe 20 or 30% of them. They're going to buy 2 out of 1,000 that are out there, 2 out, whatever it is. So it's the same for you. you're going to go down your street. You're going to go look at 100 houses. You're going to find one of those that's going to fit. 3%, 3 to 5% is going to fit where the seller's flexible. And then you're going to simply go through the courses. I want you to go through the courses and go deep. Go to down to number 6. Go through the real estate classes. Go through Mark Harrelson's class. Mark's a friend of mine, and he's allowed us to give away his book, How to Wake Up the Financial Genius Inside of You. It's the first real estate book, real first finance book I ever read. And I was in college. He owned the apartment complex that I lived in when I was going to school in Rexburg, Idaho, of all places. And he owned that uh, apartment complex, and he brought up a case of books, and I had to go in the office, and there was this case of books, and the guy gave me a book, and I read the book, and I fell in love with it. My dad taught me all this stuff, but that was the first time that I'd read a physical book about real estate. And then I met Robert Allen. I went to the Nothing Down seminars and fell in love with all the educational that I could learn there. And that's how I kind of got into the educational side of the world too, because I love to learn and I was out doing it. I didn't get a job with Bob Allen for the paycheck. I got a job so I could learn and to hang out with people doing it. And so go through Robert Allen stuff. Go through The Road to Wealth. The Road to Wealth is a true story about how Robert Allen, myself, and Dr. Blaine Lee, one of my college professors, went to St. Louis, Missouri, and we took 3 people out of an unemployment line. Bob taught them for 2 days, and then I was their coach. I coached them on the phone. I didn't see them face to face. You had a question, I'd talk to them on the phone. Bob talked to them 2 or 3 times during that 90 days. And it's a true story of how they went out and bought real estate. And they flipped it and made $5,000. And now this was 40 years ago that happened. But it's a wonderful program. Go through that. Go through the real estate launch program. That's the real estate side of it. The 5 F's, they're all the same. And then jump into the business side. ACE, the Academy for Creative Enterprise, Steve Gibson stuff. It's the same thing in building a business. 5 F's. There's 5 F's that we want to be able to do. In addition to that, there are wonderful classes by the E-Myth, Michael Gerber, who trained me. He literally he trained me how to run businesses and stuff like that. Wonderful product that you should be going through. Jay Abraham, great marketer, all the material he's got. And all these classes are available for you. Learn, earn, and return. Your job's to go learn, and then your job is to teach it to somebody. Because guess what? When you teach it, it magnifies into your world, and you figure it out. You literally figure it out when you teach it and when you do it. It's one thing to get the head knowledge, but just go do it. And you're going to fail. I don't care. Fail fast. If we had a quarter and we're going to flip it, and your job was to get 50 heads, and you're failing half the time, you'd feel bad. Well, I'm failing half the time. No, we don't give a crud if you fail. We just care about how many times you do it and did you learn from it. Fail fast, learn from somebody else. Don't learn on your own. Learn from somebody else, and then that'll give you a shortcut, and you're going to have to learn the stuff on your own. You just got to go do it. You just got to go do it. But it's a game, and games are fun. Money's a game and games are fun. Business is a game and games are fun. Real estate's a game and games are fun. So go have some fun. And the best fun is to change somebody's world, to change somebody's life. You want to change somebody's life? You really want to do it? Well, it's not giving him money. Give a man a fish. You feed him for a day. And if he doesn't eat the fish stinks. We're going to take him fishing, and we're going to have fun fishing. And then we're going to teach him how to have fun and take his kids fishing. And then we're going to get out of the way, and then he's going to keep going fishing with his kids, and they're going to have a better life. That's what we do at the foundation. Thanks, everybody, for being part of the foundation. Thanks for making a difference. Thanks for making such a difference. Every life is precious. You're making it happen, and remember that you're a miracle. You are a miracle. Your family's a miracle. Your kids are a miracle. It's just a miracle you're on this earth. And if you know you're a miracle, then treat your body like it's a miracle and treat that other person like they're a miracle as well.